Hello, friends. Hope you're all doing well as usual. So, today I would like to talk about myths about mental illness because there are so many of them with all the stigma out there. It's ridiculous. So, let's debunk some of those myths, shall we? First, and the biggest one probably, is that it's not real or it's all in your head. Of course, it's in my head. It's a chemical imbalance, but that doesn't mean it's not real. This goes with another one, that it can't cause physical symptoms. Mental illness absolutely can cause physical symptoms. They're actually, for example, my anxiety is a trigger for my migraines, which causes me intense pain, vomiting, etc. And of course, for those of you who have experienced a panic attack, you know that your heart is racing and you're sweaty. You want to tell me that's not a physical symptom? Suck my D. This is another one. It's not treatable. That is totally not true. Sure, they haven't found absolute cures for a lot of mental illness yet. However, it can go into remission. It is very treatable. You can at least get your symptoms from like 100% down to like even 20%. It's just how hard you work, how hard you put effort into it, what you do to take care of yourself. It is treatable. It is possible. This one's probably my biggest pet peeve is when people say medication is a sign of weakness. That doesn't even make sense. People take medication for physical ailments all the time. I take migraine medication. It doesn't work, but I take it. And does that make me weak so that I'm not in excruciating pain all the time? It is not a sign of weakness. It's just like treating any other body part. Your brain is a fundamental part of your body, so I don't know why society deems it so wrong just because you can't see it to treat it. There's a lot of imaging that shows what a brain that's normal looks like versus a mentally ill brain. So people are just ignorant. They want to believe that. Just medication does not make you weak. It's there to help you. And if you're against medication, that is fine. That is your thing. I will not tell you you're wrong. It's not a sign of weakness. That is incorrect. This one was hard for me to realize, but a lot of people with mental illness think that avoiding your trigger is helpful, when in all actuality, it's a temporary helpful thing. Like, it temporarily alleviates anxiety. However, when faced with that trigger again, the anxiety amplifies and it creates this vicious cycle of avoidance, increased anxiety, etc. And then it slowly takes over. Still have agoraphobia, but I've gotten it to a reasonable stage where I can go in public by myself now. I used to avoid going in public at all, and if I did, I always had to have a buddy so that if something were to happen to me, like if I were going to start dying or faint, someone would be there to protect me. It was like a security blanket. So the more I avoided my triggers, like for example, Walmart is a huge trigger for me because there's so many people no matter what friggin' time you go. Plus it's Walmart, so there's that. But the more I avoided it, the more it intensified my fear of it. So that when I did actually have to go there, I would be borderline hyperventilating, about to pass out. This is another huge one. Having mental illness means you're crazy. There's a difference between a neurological disorder and a psychotic disorder, which even psychotic disorders are treatable, but neurological are completely different, and they do not mean you're crazy. I think the statistic is like 1 in 4 people struggle with some form of mental illness in America and probably other countries. So I guess we're all nuts together if that's a true statement, which it's not. Don't believe that. This one was hard for me also. This is like a personal, everyone will judge me for having mental illness if I talk to them about it. Not everyone will. There are a lot of people out there that are super judgmental and they just don't get it. But I also have a lot of people in my life that are super supportive. They do their best to understand. I've had people even go out of their way to research what I go through to try to understand it better. And that is very helpful. It helps you build a stronger support system if you're willing to talk to people. My nose itches, excuse me. And this one is super important. Having a mental illness does not make you unlovable. That is a lie we all tell ourselves, even people who aren't mentally ill. We all go through struggles. We all have definitive things in our pasts that make it feel like we don't deserve love, especially with today's world where everyone gets judged for every tiny thing ever. It doesn't mean you're unlovable. Everyone deserves love. It's just what it is. You gotta stop telling yourself, I don't deserve love, I'm so terrible because this. There are a trillion other people, okay, not a trillion, there's a lot of other people in the world dealing with the same crap as you, and even if they're not, it doesn't mean you're not lovable. Okay, I love you. Heart for you. That's a very poorly shaped heart. Look at it. Just look at it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of those myths because they are something I often struggle with myself, so I'm guessing some of you struggle with a lot of these things too. Stigma is heartbreaking that it's still a problem. And it's really sad that people aren't more educated on mental illness. And even some physical illnesses have a lot of stigma attached to them. It's really unfortunate that people aren't open-minded enough to be receptive to learning about these things and trying to understand instead of judging and being critical. It's unfortunate, but thank you for sticking with me, and let me know what you want to see in the future, and I love you lots as always. Alright, have a good day. Bye-bye.